Hello, and welcome to today's episode. The Bible is referred to as the living Word of God. It isn't a book that is meant simply to be read. It is a perspective-altering substance that is meant to be ingested and absorbed into you. And when it becomes a part of you, it changes you. And that is exactly what it is meant to do. A psalm is a spiritual song based on a profound, foundational insight that is expressed in the form of music, which is usually played on a harp. This is my own paraphrase of the Psalms. Now, there is an important difference between a paraphrase and a translation, and it is important to understand what that difference is. A translation takes a text word by word, and it finds the most accurate word in another language to convey the meaning of that original word. But sometimes getting the details right can come at the expense of the big picture. For example, the literal translation for a butt dial and the literal translation for a booty call could end up being exactly the same if they were both translated very literally into another language. But we all know that those are two very different ideas. A paraphrase, on the other hand, is attempting to capture the spirit of the idea that is being expressed. But both approaches come with their own disadvantages. Sometimes the most literal translation for each word, while technically accurate, loses something in its translation. For example, if you were to translate the phrase, "cat got your tongue," into another language, it would make no sense to them. Why would a cat grab your tongue? What are you even talking about? In order to convey the original idea, you would have to find out which saying is used in that other language to express the same concept. But it might not involve a cat, or even any animal at all. So the literal translation would not be a very accurate one. But in a case like the one that I just described, the idea is more important than sticking to a very literal translation that loses all of its intended meaning. However, because paraphrases are an individual's interpretation of the underlying idea, instead of a rigorous academic translation of the word, they are not as objectively accurate as a translation is. A paraphrase is a lot more subjective, and that makes it much more susceptible to interpretations that are way off the mark of the original text's intent. The focus of a translation is on detailed accuracy, and sometimes the broader picture is not conveyed very clearly as a result. The focus of a paraphrase is on painting that big picture, but it often loses the accuracy of the finer details. Both of these are useful as long as you understand which is which, and what the disadvantages to each approach are. And that is why I recommend using both an accurate translation like the New American Standard and a responsible paraphrase. Psalm 21. In your strength, Most High, the king finds his own renewal. So he freely shares the great joy that he feels in the victory of your saving grace. For you give him his heart's true desire, and you don't refuse the requests that his lips utter in moments of sincere prayer. Meditate on that idea. You respond by meeting him with multiple blessings. You adorn his head with the crown of fine gold that was placed there by you. He asks you to fill him with life, a life that is abundant, and you give it to him. You even add long years to that life, followed by more years and more years. And this continues on without an end. It is the victory of your saving grace that brings him such impressive glory. For you pour out your splendor on him, gracing him with magnificent honor. You lavish your enduring blessings on him and mark him out as uniquely enriched and permanently elevated. He is both blessed and a blessing, for you fill him to the brim with the joy of your own presence. Of course the king trusts in the Most High, for it is through the unprompted love and the generous mercy of the ultimate Creator that he is never toppled. For you never fail to find all of your enemies out, and your powerful hand will overtake each and every one of those who hate you. When you appear, your presence for them will be like a furnace of flames. They will be completely swallowed up by the purifying wrath of the Most High. His fire will devour them until they have been completely consumed by it. You will purge the earth of the fruit that they have made, wiping it clean of their mark forever and ridding mankind of their legacy. For they rose up out of their own evil intentions in order to oppose you and all that is good. They schemed and they strategized until they had finally devised their plan of attack. But they will always fail to succeed in achieving what they desire. For you will send them into full retreat, forcing them back in the opposite direction as you make your bow ready and aim your string directly in their face. Now emerge above us in the full glory of your strength, Most High, so that we can celebrate your power and express what we are feeling inside with joyful singing. I pray that whatever voice God might choose to give me in this world, he would also give me the words that I should use it for. These words have meaning for me, and if they had some meaning for you as well, then I am truly grateful that we have both been given a gift from above and from each other. Have a good day out there, my friends.